Celebrity Style Inspiration.
Hi CSIers! Welcome back to your favorite Thursday date night on the Manila Times CSI, Celebrity Style Inspiration. Ako po si Tessa Mauricio-Arriola and you're watching our fourth and biggest season ever where we've lined up exclusive T-Zone interviews with your favorite celebrities and personalities week after week after week. So let's get started right now. Tonight, we're shifting from showbiz to fashion, but not just any fashion style. We'll be learning about the do's and don'ts in pulling off the proudly and fabulously growing trend of everyday Filipiniana wear. And mind you, neither are we talking about it with just anyone. Because way before Filipino Fashion Fridays became a hashtag, she's been making the traditional look hip on any given day, smart yet sophisticated in the August halls of Congress, and glamorous and elegant across every official and special occasion she attends and graces. Deservingly praised, a style icon, what really matters to her in fashioning the fabrics and accessories of our history, then, now and always, is preserving our unique Filipino identity. Her flair for wearing Filipiniana is but part of her life's pledge and passion to support and better the lives of precious indigenous communities across the country with whom our rich and beautiful heritage remains and thrives. Just a few weeks ago, our Sunday Times magazine named her the champion of Filipino identity, and it is thus my honor to welcome her tonight on the Manila Times CSI. Ladies and gentlemen, the first to file her COC to offer her heart and service to the Filipino people as Senator anew, the multi-awarded broadcast journalist and incumbent Deputy Speaker of the House, Antique Representative Loren Legarda.
Great to see you virtually. I wish we could be face to face. So when we speak about fashion, and you know, it's not just fashion, as you said, it's culture, it's textiles, it's heritage. I wish I could show you, let's say, textiles, and we could touch even, let's say, my bangles and my beads. And there's just so much to say.
I know.
Thank you, Tessa, and to your very talented team of millennials, diba, helping you in this. So thanks to the Manila Times.
Yes, Senator, it's always our honor in the lifestyle section. I was telling you earlier that I've had the privilege to be able to interview the senator about fashion as early as I think it was like early 2000s. You know, we're giving away our age, but the senator looks youthful as ever. And it was at that time mga pashminas naman po, Senator. No, you always manage to dare I say it, steal the show. No, pagka may camera na nagpapan sa Senate kasi makikita namin, you know, she's wearing something colorful, something bright, something that we can speak about beyond the issues po na dinidiscuss nyo on the floor. So
that was a long time ago.
Very long
Pero pashmina imported yan, kaya hindi ko na sinusuot yung pashmina. Baka magtataka kayo, we're talking about Filipiniana with Tessa, pero bakit hindi Filipiniana ang suot ni Loren Legarda? Filipiniana ito, pero tinan mo, di ba napaka-casual? Patadyong ito ha. Baka akala nyo, baka sabihin nila, bakit hindi siya naka-Filipiniana? Bakit hindi siya naka-Philippine textile? Ayon sa batas niya, yung tropical fabric law. No. Kasi sabi nyo, modern Filipiniana. So ang modern Filipiniana maganda at pwedeng pang araw-araw, pwedeng pang special na okasyon, pwedeng pang kasal, pwedeng pang debut, pwedeng pang State of the Nation, pwede rin pang araw-araw. Kaya ito, this is modern Filipiniana, di ba? You're surprised, right?
Yes. Kasi nga,
tatayo ako.
There you go.
This is modern patadyong. You know, this is pure cotton from Visayan cotton and the cotton farms. Ako rin nagpa-plant ng cotton and we give ginning and spinning machines in our different processing centers and weaving centers in Antique. And this is, pagbuksan mo itong mga rosette,
yes,
patadyong na tela yan na ginawa nilang ganon.
Wow.
And this is done by a millennial designer from San Jose at Antique, our capital town. And the textiles are made in a barangay, Bagtason, in Bugasong, in Antique. Kaya yan, umpisa pa lang, ayan ang pinag-uusapan. Sabi niya,
ang dami na namin natutunan.
Yun na, sabi niya, ay, ang simple ng suot niya. Kasi ang pag-intro mo sa akin, colorful, Filipiniana. Pagtingin sa akin, ay, hindi colorful, gray. Tapos, hindi Filipiniana, hindi. Kaya I wanted to be different now from the usual Filipiniana they see. And then, makita nila, pwedeng pang araw-araw. So, I'm actually wearing checkered pants na lumang-luma at naka rubber slippers na puti.
Ayun,
pero ang top ko, pwedeng pang bahay, pwede rin pang interview.
Yes. Kasi nga, Senator, I think it's important na mapakita natin sa kanila more than usually when we see you talk about the fabrics, who makes them, who weaves them, yung mga communities. Pero ito, parang sabi ko nga, unique kasi para tayong magkaka-girls night out with Senator Loren at mag-exchange tayo ng mga fashion tips. So, be prepared for a night of fun dito sa the Manila Times CSI with the one and only Senator Loren Legarda. So, let's continue, Senator, no? Before becoming a journalist and public servant, syempre, marami rin sa aming nakakaalam, but for the benefit of those who don't know, commercial model po si Senator Loren Legarda, no? So, you must have dressed in the trends of the time. Nung time na yon, scholar pa po kayo ng bayan na naging cum laude, di ba? In UP. Ano po ang mga gusto nyong sinusuot nun as a kolhiyala, as an scholar ng bayan?
Alam mo, Tessa, hindi ko ikakaila ang dates noon. I was in UP from 1977 to 1981. Those were the martial law years. Now, I wish I had pictures. I wasn't involved in fashion whatsoever. What was important to me was comfort, because sasakay ako ng ikot jeep o minsan naglalakad from AS, Arts and Sciences in Diliman, and then I would go to the main library, walking distance, pero ang layo, I would go to Institute of Mass Comm, hindi pa yun College of Mass Comm. So kailangan comfort. So nakamaong lang ako, minsan nga naka-sundress. Di ba nag-uso nung 70s or 80s, ganyan lang, spaghetti strap, sundress, and I was reed thin. Ibig sabihin, R-E-E-D, payat, sobrang payat noon. 90 pounds. I mean, I was so thin, like,
nakaka-inggit naman ng 90 pounds.
Talaga. Now, tens of pounds later. Anyway, so I never considered myself fashionable. I never considered myself mahilig sa fashion. I don't know, but people would just say, oh, fashionable, but I would always repeat my clothes. I would wear very comfortable clothes. I was more for comfort, but I always liked Philippine-made textiles and fabrics because my late mama, who passed on in 1996, since the 1960s, meron kaming camphor chest. It's a big wooden chest made of camphor wood material. Pagbuksan mo, tela. And I grew up, that was in her bedroom, and I could even smell, I don't know why, the textiles. Ang laki-laki, it's still there. In fact, when I look at it, when I go to our home in Malabon, nandun pa yung wedding gown ng mama ng 1950s. So, mama would always open the comfort chest, and she had hablon, and she had silk, she had different textiles. Maybe some were imported, some were Philippine-made. She had pinya, she had lace, iba-iba. Swiss lace and Philippine lace. Doon ako nagka-interest sa textiles when I was born. Even when I was 5 years old, I watched my mother dress up in front of me and open her chest full of tech. It was like her Pandora's box of textiles. Anyway, so when I was in UP, yung tanong mo, kolehiyala, simple lang ako. Hindi man ako nag-porma noon. Porma ang word namin noon, nag-bis masyado noon. But when I entered television in, not GMA, what year was that? RPN 9. In 1981, I would wear simple jackets, I'm sure Philippine-made. Then I would use yung mga chunky jewelry made in Cebu and chunky chokers. We would call it chokers then. I would buy it on my trips to Cebu. Even let's say in Santa Mesa Market, I remember, I would buy that. So, mahilig na ako nun sa chunky. And then after that, I would just love to wear Philippine-made. At saka mini-mix match ko, maski may maong na ganyan, and I'd put a scarf, yun. Then some of that, I really have until now.
Yeah.
So, you would say, from the 1970s up to now, 2021, I would wear locally made, I would wear Philippine-made, I would support local. I really, what I said in a recent interview with Tony Gonzaga about an Hermes bag that was given to me, which I gave away to a special friend as a gift. And instead, what I use is a pandan bag where there's a hand painting of a local painter from Iloilo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would really rather wear Philippine-made than imported, but no offense to imported goods. Yes, once in a while, and when I was young, yes, I used to buy, but I like wearing imported things. I mean, local things yes, local things. Yes.
Yeah, Senator, kasi people would think like, the younger ones, kahit na whether you say it's in the 70s or 80s or 90s, when you talk about Filipiniana, unang-una they think that's what they'll wear dun sa linggo ng wika, diba? Secondly, that's what they'll wear pag may kasal. Or, but the point we're trying to make, si Senator Loren, kahit na pa noon as a teenager, as a young person, talagang it was her. I mean, you weren't forced to do anything, di ba? Hindi po yan naging result lang of being in public service. Talagang taste mo po yun, di ba? Ganun po ang pwede natin.
Nakakatawa ka, linggo ng wika, totoo yan. Parang pag linggo ng wika o kaya United Nations Day, di ba ganon? UN Day or linggo ng wika, puro pag occasion lang. So, I felt
formal, formal. It has to be formal, di ba? Pero yung
sinuot ko ngayon, yung simple, kaya nakita nyo, ang pambahay ko, pambahay na pwedeng pang-interview. Yeah, itong blouse na ito, na may ibig sabihin, gawa sa cotton natin, gawa ng hinahabi ng rural women, at yung patansyong na mga tagpi-tagping retaso, ginawang bulaklak, ganun. Ito naman, I think, gawa lang to sa Cebu. I think this is like, isn't it cute? It's 80 pesos.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Sabi niyo kanina, if our viewers didn't think that your top was Filipiniana, definitely the accessories. Diba? Parang alam mo na may touches yan of the South, and yung kulay pa lang niya, and mixing it with yung chunkiness niya and all the metal. Pero Senator Loren, balik ta rin naman natin. That was your own taste, and you were really able to pull it off with style. Nung wala pang nagsusuot ng Filipiniana very casually. Pero can you just give us a picture naman po? Anong reaction ng mga tao sa inyo when you were already working, and then in your corporate attire for television, ng mga suits, di ba? Usually nakasuits ang mga newscasters natin.
Yes.
And then eventually, when you went into politics, pag pupunta po kayo sa probinsya, mag-meet ng tao, ano naman ang reaction nila to see, nasa Pilipinas tayo, pero hindi siya usual to see somebody wearing Filipiniana on a work day or a regular day? Anong reaction naman nila, Senator?
Ako naman, when I entered politics, palaging white top. Pero yun, hindi naman lahat ay Philippine-made, di ba? Minsan, mga cotton lang na everyday brands, and I would have rolled up sleeves, but I would always have a Filipiniana accent. For example, let me show you here, okay?
Hey, may show to tell, okay.
See, this is a patanjong scarf. Yan, di ba ang ganda? This is never machine, this is hand woven. And this can be a napkin. This can also be a scarf pag naginaw, o pwedeng tinatali din sa handbag. But what I would do, yung long sleeves na rolled up sleeves, tapos tinatali ko lang ito sa aking neck, di meron na akong ganun. Oh, di ang ganda-ganda.
Diba, it's a touch of Filipiniana na.
Yes. Yeah. So, they would see me. Since 1998, my first term in the Senate, I was the youngest senator then. I was campaigning at 37 years old. And
number one yata.
Number
Number one
thank you.
selection, yes.
Yes, thank you. I would wear white rolled up sleeves and my denim jeans and white rubber shoes, tapos itong scarf. Then what I would do, I would take it out and throw it to whoever would catch it, sa'yo na. Ayan.
Wow.
Pero ngayon,
Maganda, parang rockstar, di ba? Parang may
Ganon.
super
ang ganda-ganda. Sherry, paki-text nga sa akin, ano nga ang tawag dito sa ating star? Hindi pinilian eh. Ang tawag sa atin sa Ilocos, pinilian. Pero itong sa Antique, I will ask Sherry to ask Mario, what is it pag meron star na ganyan? Kasi may ibig sabihin.
May meaning siya, yes.
May meaning.
Sure.
Ito naman, for example, kaya sinuot ko rin to. This is Kalinga necklace. Kaya lang dahil ako'y naka-close neck, parang hindi bagay, sinuot ko lang. Yan ako. So I just innovate.
Yeah.
Feel ko lang siya. So meron akong Cordillera, meron akong Western Visayas, meron akong Panay, yan, ito, Patajong. You wouldn't think this is Patajong. You wouldn't think this is Patajong. Pinagsasama-sama ko lang. Kasi enjoy ako ganun. Simple lang.
Fun, diba? I mean, to roll up your necklace, turn it into bracelets. Parang it really also shows kung gaano ka innovative at creative din ang, the Filipino, diba? Parang it shows in our artistry. Senator Loren, we did dig up our favorite looks ni Loren Legarda to show our viewers kung paano ba mag-Filipiniana on a regular day. And the staff have it here and we'd like to flash them on the screen para, we can yung sa ating do's and don'ts and sa ating fashion workshop today, you can actually really teach us how to even begin to incorporate Filipiniana fashion into everyday clothes. So, yan yung sinasabi ni Senator na maong, jeans siya, sa loob is probably just a regular white shirt, pero it was a cooler day. So, anong ginawa niya? Let us know how to, what you did to make this outfit, so stylish. And so, parang talagang nationalistic din naman talaga.
Yes. Yan. I think this was in Bohol. And I still have that maong yata. Tapos anong sa loob niyan? Yung sando lang. Yung 200 pesos na mga white t-shirts na comfortable, short sleeves. Nagdadala nga ako sa bag ko ng isang blouse na ginawa kong, kasi siguro kinalitan ko na, binuksan ko na yung gitna. That's an authentic Tiboli jacket. Tapos, pinatong ko lang siya, colorful na siya, di ba ang ganda? Oo, so I still have that. I still wear it from some of my Zooms. When I work the whole day, nakamaong ako, or pants lang, tapos naka-white shirt, tapos iniiba ko lang yung jacket ko. And I've had that for maybe 20 years already. So, hindi naman ako nagpupunta sa mga haling mga designer. Ang designer ko, yung mga indigenous peoples, ang mga katutubo. Tapos kung medyo maliit na sa akin yung jacket, bubuksan ko na lang. So, I put the jacket
Pwede pa rin. Yeah. Pero you said, because you brought it up yourself na you don't go to mamahaling designers. Kasi a lot of us think because a lot of, Filipino fabrics and jewelry, of course, they're all handmade. And totoo naman kasi pag, that much time and yung pagiging intricate ng isang bagay ang ibinigay, di ba? Parang if it's made by artisans, it must be expensive. So, my question is it true or false that if you wear Filipiniana as, the modern day Filipiniana, mahal ba? Do you need to invest a little bit? And if you need to invest a little bit, ano yung mga pieces na yon, Senator?
It's not true that Filipiniana is expensive. In fact, wearing Filipiniana, no matter how simple, could be the most affordable and accessible. Just like what I told you, these earrings, I'm not sure kung 80 or 120 pesos. This blouse is probably less than 1,000, maybe 400, 500, I'm not sure. And this textile is perhaps, Sherry, what? 120 pesos? So I would wear a 200 pesos white sando t-shirt and put this, okay, I'll even show you how I
hold it, no?
Hold it. And ganyan lang. So imagine if I was wearing a white t-shirt and then I would tie it around my neck. May pagka-cowgirl lang itsura, but sometimes ginaganyan ko, ganyan. Pag napapawisan ako, di pawis, ganyan.
So, double purpose.
Yes, meron naman syempre yung Filipiniana, pag handmade, let's say, yung mga pure pinya.
That's
Siyempre
really
mahal. Kasi binabayaran naman natin yung bawat isang hibla, bawat isang fabric ay talagang yan ay mula sa red Spanish pineapple at yan ay yung buong process ng pinya making up to the time it is hand woven. And sometimes it is dyed using natural dye. And then it is hand woven one by one. Tapos minsan like in Lumban, Laguna, kalado. Siyempre mahal, hindi naman yan machine made na madaling gawin. So depende sa style. So kung ano man ang budget nyo, alam mo magandang challenge sa akin, give me a budget, I'll give you ano ang Filipiniana look. Kasi in some photos I can show you, nako, talagang mga hand-me-down sa akin or recycled pero ang gandang Filipiniana.
Yes. Kasi diba, Senator, a lot of people parang feeling nila, nako, bigay ng lola ko it must be old-fashioned. So, andyan na lang, it stays in the baul or it stays in your cabinet. But, I just wanted to ask you to encourage them na kahit hand-me-down yan nga yung mga pieces na kahit naka-t-shirt ka lang, diba, masuot mo lang siya, nagiging Filipiniana na yung look mo.
Ako,
Sabi ko kayo,
tuwang-tuwa ako.
Diba,
Yes,
parang,
alam mo, tuwang-tuwa ako sa picture na yan kasi, Tessa, nako, miss na miss ko, yan yung National Arts and Crafts Fair. Ano ba yan? Yan ay isang event na pinagpaplanuhan namin ng office ko at ng Department of Trade and Industry tuwing October every year. Kung marami ngayon mga pop-ups, marami ngayon mga even online stores, we had this for many years, maybe 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. It even became twice a year, April and October, and I would bring our micro, small, and medium enterprises from the Cordillera to the Autonomous Region to Manila. And they would be given booths for free, and they would sell their products, whether clothes and accessories, or even furniture, anything locally made, and they will be there for 5 days, libre lahat. Government, of course, would never get a commission. What I'm using there and promoting would be, I think, the bag made in Basay, Samar. Memoriado ko pa sa Region 8, and I used to go there even as a young girl, even before I became senator, even before the campaign. In fact, I went to a SITEM exhibit many years ago, and one of the ladies in the booth said, "Ma'am, you've been to our house, you've up and down na puro Basay mats because my brother was the mayor." Ay, oo, we make mats, and bags. I think that was one of the bags of one of the, and they've evolved into a very good quality Basay brand of mats, bags made out of mats. And what I think the necklace I'm wearing there would be this one from Kalinga, which I wore now. Yeah, I think it's very similar, or maybe that's another color. And I have a surprise for you. What I'm wearing in that photo is this, which I have in my working table on Zoom. Now, this I want to show it. This has a story because this is 100-year-old. This is 100 years old wild cotton. Ang cotton ng ating mga sinaunang henerasyon. Ang cotton ng mga lola ng antike, iba ang lambot-lambot. Ayan. Tapos, natural dye ang ginagamit. Itong indigo na kulay, hindi ba napakaganda? Ito'y antigona at treasure ito ng antike. So, tinan mo, nasa tuktok ng table ko. Bakit? Kasi inspiration ko ito. So, pwede siyang dekorasyon, pwede siyang table cover, pwede siyang accessory, pwede rin siyang suot ko. Di ba yan, no? As you can see, suot ko yan. Now, what are the designs called? Pwedeng pinilian, pwedeng sampagita design, iba-iba. Meron din kaming bahay kubo. Let me see. I will see my notes para lang sure, okay? It is called pinilian. It is called sampagita. It is called balay-balay, meaning nipahat, at meron din mga petals na kinantong and sungi-sungi na cross. So this, what I'm wearing or holding up, is the sampagita design. So I'm so happy that the picture you showed me, I have it here at my back because this is my inspiration. You know, pag pagod ako kasi mula umaga, 6 a.m., nandyan ako, radio, o kaya nasa Zoom. Pero pagkatabi ko yung aking scarf, na handwoven ng mga kababaihan, pag dala ko yung 100 years old na koto, nai-inspire ako. Then when I'm tired, I realize that, oh, wait, I have to work for them. And remember, this is a law I authored in my second term in the Senate. What is the law? Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Law. It gives support, incentives to our micro enterprises. It's very important that we give them support. How? The shared services facilities of the Department of Trade. What is it? You give equipment, you give hand looms, you give whatever tools is necessary para gumanda ang negosyo. Yung DSWD Sustainable Livelihood Program, that's another implementing program of government for my MSME law. So ang dami-dami talaga, kaya tuwan-tuwa ako. Kaya nakapaligid sa akin ay gawa ng ating mga kababaihan sa mga probinsya para pagpagod na ako, titignan ko, maaalala ko sila, oops, kailangan kong magtrabaho pa para sila, lalo na sa panahon ng pandemic, ay magkaroon ng pangkabuhayan. Yan.
The reason why you're there, no? Like, sabi ko nga, Senator, you really walk the talk kasi, and we've proven it, yung suot niya that people might think she just wore for that occasion is actually on her table because, not just because it's fashionable when she wore it, but because it gives her inspiration. So, thank you for giving us that look into your life. Kasi alam ko, you know, when you talk about in the environment, pati yung, you know, in your home, talagang everything is segregated. You know, you really walk the talk. I'm sure you're getting lots of tips dito po sa ating Girls Night Out and Fashion Exchange with Senator Loren Legarda. We'll have to pause for a break, but we'll be right back on the Manila Times CSI.
CSI, Celebrity Style Inspiration.
Sabi ko nga, ang dami-dami na nagpo-post every Friday, yung hashtag nila na Filipiniana Friday. Sabi ko, wala pang hashtag or wala pang social media, si Senator Loren na yan pagdating sa Philippines. Diba?
At saka, Tessa, hindi lang Friday. Every day is Filipiniana Day. Yes, every day. Bakit Friday lang? Bakit? Sabi mo nga, bakit?
Diba? Nowadays, diba lang yung mga fashionistas.
Bakit pag Filipino, sabi mo kanina, Filipino Day lang or Filipino Week?
Oo. Unang week. Kasi sabi ni Tia. Pero kayo nga, everyday niyo siyang ini-enjoy. And it's not just, you know, besides being an advocacy, kita niyo naman how much fun the senator has in creating her looks. And I'm sure it gives you a certain release, di ba? Parang dun mo ilabas yung pagpatong-patong ka ng jewelry. Minsan we worry about, paano ba yan? Dapat ba isang bracelet lang, dalawa? Pag Filipiniana, mas marami kang freedom to express din yourself.
Ano, ang aking motto, just follow your passion. The way, Uwido, gut feel. There's no rules. No rules. Oo. Pwede ka mag-mix match.
Yeah. I think, you know, if anything sa kwento mo palang kanina when we started this interview, siguro ang fashion idol mo talaga is your mama. And to be sure, enjoy din naman siyang, you know, i-hand down sa iyo ang mga, you know, like precious pieces that she has, however, whether it costs so much or talagang napaka-close lang to her heart. May I ask you, you know, maybe what is the most important heirloom piece of jewelry or cloth or kung ano man fabric ang nabigay sa'yo ng mama nyo that talagang, you know, that's what you consider, you know, talagang, this is so precious to me.
Yes, I think there's not just one, but
sure.
Yung baul niya ng textiles na kasama na halos pulbos-pulbos na ngayon kaya ayokong galawin yung kanyang wedding gown. Napakaganda pero talagang brown na siya. Hindi ko na-preserve noon pero I'll try to do it. May beadwork. And one maybe special textile she gave was like an apron made by the late Marina Antonio, the wife of the architect, national artist Pablo Antonio. My mama had it maybe in the 1980s, and it was like lace on the side, and pure pinya in the middle. Tapos nakatali lang siya, apron. And I wore it. Maybe it's one of the photos that you researched. I just wear a black top and black pants and pumps. I put the apron and I look so dressed. I even wore it in Cannes. Maybe I can share with you the picture in. I walked on the red carpet in Cannes with Cannes award-winning director Brillante Mendoza. I can share the photo wearing my mother's apron.
Guys, I think we have that picture. I think we can pull it up para mas masarap yung recollection natin.
It was put in the cover of a magazine of Tatler, I think.
Ayan.
Okay.
Diba? An apron can bring that much glamour.
Ng mama.
Yeah.
Apron style, ang buong damit niya, hinahanap ko nga, meron siyang gown sa loob na pinya, na beige lahat. Hindi ko na mahanap yung loob, pero nahanap ko lang sa baol niya yung apron style na lace at pure pinya. So, nag-black lang akong pants na local lang yan at saka sandong itim. Naka-pumps ako na made in Marikina. Tapos tinali ko ang buhok ko. Di ba maganda? Ayan.
And very elegant. Di ba? Very elegant po yung look. And it's not uncomfortable. Because another thing that people think when you wear Filipiniana, maybe medyo mabigat because may layers, ma-itchy yung fabric. Hindi naman po, obviously it's not true because Senator Loren wears it on a daily basis even when she works. And talagang, even if you're in a fancy affair, comfort pa rin is key to looking good, diba?
Yes.
And to be confident.
Yes.
And this is a wonderful outfit na nakita na po ng Cannes, nasa red carpet po ng Cannes, and today we're showing it to you that maybe yung binigay sa inyo ng lola nyo na matagal nyo na pong keep in your cabinets that you'd think is, what will I do with this?
I'm glad you mentioned my lola.
Mm-hmm.
I will share with you, I'm not sure if you have it, an aquamarine gown from my lola maming, passed on to my mother, that she passed on to me, that I wore in Casa Manila in Intramuros. And I will share it with you. Ang ganda-ganda. I'm sure. Yun naman yung may butterfly sleeves, what do you call that? Hindi barot saya, terno. It was an aquamarine terno. I will share that with you. I'm sure I'll be able to do that.
Ang question ko lang po, obviously, there are some of us din naman who are familiar with mga fabrics, Filipino fabrics. Tapos sabi mo nga, there's a meaning to certain symbols na nawiweave ng mga indigenous countrymen natin doon sa mga fabrics na to, no? But, should you ever worry that you're not wearing something right and that baka pag nakita ka ng ang indigenous tribe na gumawa nun, baka ma-offend sila? Or wala naman po bang rules in how you can tie your accessories, kung paano nyo po i-fold and all that? Meron po bang rules or hindi naman yan something for us to worry about?
Wala naman rules sa akin, pero importante, rinerespeto ko ang ating mga katutubo at syempre alam ko yung mga batas, alam ko yung FPIC, free, prior, and informed consent. So, importante na rinerespeto natin at alam natin ang sinusuot natin. Hindi lang basta isuot, tapos sasabihin natin mali yung tribe, di ba? Dapat alam natin yung provenance, alam natin yung ibig sabihin ng suot natin. Hindi basta pang-aesthetics lamang, kundi dala natin ang kanilang kultura. Kumbaga, dayaw, our knowledge, our pride. Ganon.
That's why, of course, as everybody knows, Senator Loren still has her award-winning docu-series on ANC. Ang dayaw po, yun talaga yung objective is for us, regular Filipinos, na matutunan din ang ating kultura, whether it's fashion, play, di ba yung series before, mga piko, mga ganyan. Kasi if we don't talk about it and if we don't recall them, baka mawala. So at the core of your fashion style, if we can go back to fashion, is your advocacy, first and foremost, Senator. And earlier on, you were saying how a piece of weave would inspire you in a full day of work pag pagod na kayo. So, if you can just tell us a little bit na more specific po ng mga kwento kung paano nga po natin natutulungan and paano nyo natutulungan yung mga indigenous people, the IPs, our Filipiniana craftsmen and artisans and so on. Please tell us, you're maybe one of the top anecdotes that you have, that life became better for them habang you're looking so gorgeous and fabulous in what you're wearing. Win-win, diba? Parang ang ganda mo na, maganda pa po yung nangyayari sa kanila.
Ay, oo. Kamukha sa Tibiao Antique, dati meron silang weaving center na gumagawa ng pinya. And then long ago, wala na. Nagsara na kasi wala daw tumutulong, wala daw nag-patronize. Hinahanap ko yung gumagawa ng pinya kasi meron ako dating tela nung governor yung tita ko ng Antique, and then wala na. They said because the industry died. So, I built a weaving center. I'm going to build a natural dye center. I gave them hand looms. I gave them threads and all the support. I even brought some of the weavers on my Hibla traveling exhibition to Czech Republic and to different parts of the world with the National Museum. It was their first time to travel because they're from a town in the province of Antique, along with the embroiderers of Lumban, Laguna. And so now they're a thriving weaving center among many, and different provinces even ordered the pinya from them. For example, in Kiangan, Ifugao, there's a mother and son na weaver, the Bule family. And I brought them to National Museum and I helped show the people the beautiful Ikat weaves, textiles of our indigenous people, our friend Cordillerans, the Ifugaos. Then there was one time I was senator, I learned that they had a financial problem and the VAT for their natural dye was being confiscated by a government agency because they could not pay the loan of 60 or 70,000 pesos. So I decided I would help them and pay the loan because the PTRI was going to confiscate the VAT, which was the source of income of the Ifugaos I was helping. And to make a long story short, because of that, they continued with their Ikat weaving business and their natural dye. And one of the weavers, Sami Bule, collaborated recently with an artist and they won for our Philippine Pavilion in the Venice Biennale for next year. So really from the time that I saved them from possible closure and winning in a national open call contest to represent the Philippines, they've come a long way. Ilan lang yan sa mga interesting stories. Maybe one day I would write a blog or vlog or even a hard copy book on my weaving stories. You've given me an idea, Tessa.
Kasi nga, unless they are given that opportunity being in the provinces and, talagang far-flung areas, unless someone goes out to them and reaches out to them and gives them an opportunity to, to spread their art, diba? Yung kanilang art and culture sa rest of the country first, and then as far as the Czech Republic, syempre hindi mangyayari yon. So I think all of us have you to thank for that, Senator Loren, because you really are, sabi nga namin in that Sunday Times cover, the champion of the Filipino identity. Because what are these things? Ito yung identity natin. Ito yung kung sino tayo. We have, para tayo maging global, di ba sabi nila, Senator, you have to show them something unique. And thank you, Senator, for being our bridge to show them the uniqueness of Filipino artistry. Now, you're ending...
I'm so glad you mentioned that. Yes, I'm so glad you mentioned that, Tessa. Our uniqueness would be our tropical fabrics. Our uniqueness would be the designs of textiles of our indigenous peoples. Wala niyan ang ibang bansa. Kaya yan ay alagaan natin at respetuhin natin ang intellectual property ng ating mga IPs.
Where, of course, you're ending your term as Congresswoman, Deputy Representative, ngayon po babalik ko kayo sa Senado. What are your hopes? What are your plans? Ano po yung mga pwede pang ma-expect ng ating indigenous peoples, whether they are weavers or artisans for jewelry, yung mga performers natin? I mean, what else is Loren Legarda's vision for them?
I'm glad that you mentioned that. During times of pandemic, we know that there are a lot of needs. Number one, pandemic recovery would mean protection in terms of their healthcare, but it would also mean uplifting their economic recovery of every Filipino household. And that would mean helping the micro enterprises. When we say micro, the smallest businesses to the last mile, yung nasa bundok, yung nasa coastal areas, yung nasa syudad, pero nawala ng puhunan. So, yan ang tutulungan ko. Yung tinatawag na the last, the least, and the lost. Yung mga marginalized, yung mga vulnerable, yung mga isa lang ang kanilang handloom na anod pa ng baha, or isa lang ang kanilang VAT, kukumpiskahin, yung parang storya ni Bule, or gusto nilang manahi, pero wala silang puhunan, maski 20,000 pesos. Kaya, ginawa ko yung batas MSME law at meron tayong programs ng government na pinondohan ko nung ako'y chairman ng Committee on Finance, and I will continue to do this as senator, namely, Sustainable Livelihood Program under the DSWD, Dole Pangkabuhayan, DTI Shared Services Facilities. These are just some of the programs for micro enterprises based on the law that I did as senator, because I believe pandemic recovery has to have two tracks, and that is for health recovery at the same time to provide jobs and livelihood for our micro enterprises.
I think it was a few weeks ago, Senator, when you had a press conference with the lifestyle and entertainment media, and nakwento mo nga po doon how yun namang mga, kasi di ba tayo, we know to go to our barangay, we know to go to kung sino man yung mayor natin, when we get sick, we know who to contact. Pero yung IPs, kay Senator po sila pumupunta. Di ba ho? Si Senator po ang hospital sa kanila. And, there really has to be somebody na para bang, ano bang tawag niyo sa sarili niyo? Parang gwardiya ako nila eh. Parang you're the one who takes care of them, no? How can we help you as ordinary citizens, as, help you with this really, really meaningful advocacy of yours? Kasi hindi lang naman, yeah. How can
first, you gave me a good idea. What I would do is maybe to inventory and put a photo database of all my collection of indigenous peoples, not just textiles and products. Second, maybe to have an online portal of what I collect and to identify them correctly and their provenance so that we can see and share. Ito kinolekta ko at yung recollection ko, binili ko noon, regalo sa akin to. Third, you can write about it, share it on Facebook, and encourage them to join even virtual online selling of their products so that they can be supported, marketed as well. But we must understand their culture. Hindi lang, ang ganda, bibili, isusuot. Maganda yon, may pera sila. Pero respetuhin natin ang pinanggalingan, ang kultura nila, at wag natin babaliwalain ang kanilang kultura. I think misappropriation ba ang tawag doon? Or not even knowing the indigenous peoples group, what they stand for, their tangible and intangible heritage, because the textiles tell a story. And some are, let's say, funerary textiles, pero gagamitin pang fashion, parang mali yun, hindi ba? Yung iba naman, like yung nangyari kay Apo Wang-od, tapos may classes na lang na gagawin ng isang popular blogger na murang-mura lang, parang masyadong kino-consumerize ang talento ng ating katutubo.
Yung value po, 'di ba, ng katutubo. We really have to show give, may value sila and the respect that they do deserve. So, marami po tayong ideas na nakuha today kay Senator Loren on how we can, walk the talk din. Kasi diba, we always like to say, support Filipino, buy Filipino and all that. And what do we do every day? Syempre, we always need to be clothed. We always need to change clothes. Let's try, diba? Start with accessories from 80 peso, earrings, to probably mga weaves, mga mantel. Parang hindi ba fun yun? Mantel pala yun ng lola mo, but then you can actually just tie it around your neck as a scarf and look good in it, no? And parang wear yung pride ng pagiging Filipino.
Yes.
So, Loren, your message po for our viewers here on the Manila Times CSI, maybe now that yun nga po yung hashtag na yon, pag nag-Instagram po kayo every Friday these days, you'll always see a fashionista, a stylista just putting the hashtag Filipino Fridays, and then they'll probably hold a bag or wear an earring here and there. What is your message to them para makapagtulong-tulong tayo lahat, so we can all help each other, really push Filipino fashion? The next thing nandun na tayo sa catwalks din, maybe of Paris Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, and all that. Your message for proponents of Filipiniana fashion.
My message is dayaw. Dayaw is a word that means beauty, appreciation of beauty in different Filipino languages, our knowledge and our pride. Ibig sabihin yan, support local, live local, love local, but also respect and understand local. Yan. So, dayaw, our knowledge and our pride. Magandang i-patronize natin, intindihin na natin, at mahalin natin. And let us be proud of it. And I'm a proud wearer of our culture, of our indigenous people's work. And we should proudly wear it. And that's how I've lived since I was in my 20s. And I'm happy to share that kind of life that I have. It need not be expensive. We don't have to wear everything imported, but nothing wrong with imported stuff. I sometimes even have, and I still wear. But I enjoy wearing something I know na pinaghirapan ng kababaihan sa kanayunan. Yan.
Diba, you can change lives, better lives by looking good. So, magandang answer po ito para sa atin na deep inside, we feel so vain. Hindi na po tayo kailangan mag-guilty, diba? Kasi may meaning po ang mga sinusuot natin, diba? At meron pong mapupuntahan naman ang mga binibili natin when we love and support and respect Filipinos. So, Senator, syempre Deputy Speaker pa lang, but of course, alam naman namin, we look forward to seeing you and your fashion show in the Senate very, very soon. So we'd like to thank you for joining us and giving us the pleasure of a girls' night out with you, the Honorable Deputy Speaker Loren Legarda. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay po kayo, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Tessa, and to your team in Manila Times. My lolo was the editor-in-chief of the pre-martial law Manila Times. So Manila Times is very close to my heart. And thank you to your management and to Clink and all of you. Salamat, Tessa, for your interest in the work that I do in fashion, indigenous culture, tangible and intangible heritage. So much to talk about. It's been a great 1 hour of talking about micro, small, and medium enterprises and culture as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll be right back on the Manila Times CSI. And that's it for this episode of the Manila Times CSI Season 4. Once again, thank you very much to Representative Loren Legarda for such a fun, fabulous, and inspiring T-Zone interview. We look forward to seeing you turn the Senate floor into your Filipiniana runway again next year. Don't forget to watch DS Loren's docu-series on ANC and the ANC Facebook page every Thursday at 6 p.m. And let us do our part in preserving the rich and beautiful heritage of our beloved Filipinas. Siyempre, Cheers to my hardworking team at the Manila Times CSI, Christina and Isa, who bring you The Spill by TMT CSI Wednesday nights on Spotify, head writer Nika, and last but not the least, our super talented director and video editor, Neil Reyes, for getting another episode of our humble show out there. All that we do is for you, our beloved CSIers. If you haven't yet, do subscribe to the Manila Times YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TMT CSI. This is Tessa Mauricio-Arriola. Thanks for watching, CSIers. Bye! Hi, CSIers! Please do subscribe to the Manila Times YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TMT CSI. And by the way, we're also on Spotify with exclusive TMT CSI studio content that's up and ready for you to enjoy.